Hey people, today I've got a set of replica pistols. I've got this one right here, and I've got a Luger P08. I'm gonna feature that in the next video. But this here is a WYATT buntline special nickel. Now this one is supposed to be like the real WYATT pistol. Only thing is it doesn't shoot. There's a block down the barrel, so you can't fire anything out of it. And it's not rated for real ammunition, not the right size, none of that. So today, what I thought I'd do, I just got done taking it apart and learning kind of the mechanism of the weapon. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's a single action pistol. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take it apart, show you the process just in case. Either one, you're curious to see what's inside your Denix pistol, or you're just kind of bored, or you took it apart and can't figure out how to put it back together. So we'll get on with it. And quick thing, I just realized I should tell you, you need a bowl. You need a bowl and a screwdriver to take this thing apart. The bowl is important because there's a bunch of little screws and springs you need to put in there so you don't lose them like I did the first time. Okay, so I unscrewed it. If your pistol has wooden grips, I think it's different for pearl grips, then they should just come right off like that. There's the screw. So in the handle of the pistol, you've got a spring right here. This spring is what keeps the hammer, gives it resistance. You know, without that spring, there's the gun doesn't work. So I'm gonna take that out. Be careful with that part, because if you mess up, then the spring will go flying across the room, which isn't fun. So then, after that, I take out this screw right here. There's no really specific order I use. I just kind of take everything apart. All right, we got that one out. Now, this screw, kind of important, because that one is what holds the hammer in place. Without it, the hammer's kind of all over the place, and, you know, you've got some obstructions and some issues. Next thing, I'm going to take out this screw right here. This is what holds the trigger in place. It is kind of small. You can just kind of pull it right out. And then the last screw is up here. It is what holds the frame of the gun together. So I'm going to unscrew that. This screw you really don't want to drop because it's tiny. So after you get all that together, it takes a little bit of elbow grease, but you have to take this part, you see that little crack right there down the middle, you have to get your screwdriver or something, put it in there, and pry this apart, because that's kind of the hard part. It takes a little bit of force, but not too much. Alrighty, so I got this part off. This is kind of the inner mechanism of the revolver. Don't let it scare you. It's pretty simple. You just kind of got to figure this out. So this right here is pretty important. So You've got a cylinder in a revolver, right? Well, every time you shoot, you don't want that cylinder moving. So the idea of this little thing right here is, as the cylinder spins, this thing gets right here when you're at full cock, and it locks the cylinder in place so that the thing doesn't, you know, spin or the bullet go into the side of the revolver. You know, that would not be fun. So it's good that that's right there. Anyway, you take that out. All right, so you get that, toss it in your bowl. There's a spring right here. This spring's important. This is for the trigger. Keep that. Pull out your trigger. Your trigger's right there. Now, once you've got all that apart, what I do is I take out the cylinder. I've got a little bit of corrosion right there. Should probably do something about that. So this right here is important. You pick it up, and there's a spring. But first, you got to lift it up back here, because that's locked in place. So you pick it up like that, but you see that right there? It sprung out because there's this little piece of plastic right there, and then a spring. This shot all the way across my bedroom, and I couldn't find it for 15 minutes. So make sure that doesn't go flying. Then you dump out the rod that's in the cylinder. I put that in the bowl just so I don't lose it. So you've got your cylinder. It's pretty dirty, needs some cleaning. You've got your hammer. It'll just kind of slide on out. Okay, now we've got our frame of a revolver. I'm going to clean it up, and when I'm done cleaning it, That's the block right there. You can see nothing goes through the barrel. But yeah, it's got some dust on it, so I'm going to dust it off, and then once I'm done, I'll get back to y'all. Okay, I did a little bit. I didn't do too much, but I mean, I just kind of used my very stylish bandana from a certain company. So yeah, we've got the frame looking a little shinier. There's a little bit of nastiness right here. I'll probably take some metal polish to that. So you got that. You got your cylinder. And maybe you're in the same position as I was about 15 to 20 minutes ago, and you just have no idea how to put it back together. Well, I'm helping you out because I figured it out with trial and error. Focus better. A little piece of metal. This right here fits around that like a glove. So maybe some context clues here. That locks the cylinder into place. So I'm going to just kind of stick it all in there at once. Giggity. You get it. And you squeeze it together. Uh-oh. Okay. You squeeze it together. Maybe. And you push it down in there. And it shouldn't move. So, well, I mean, it won't move side to side or up and down. But if you pick it up like that, then the spring will go flying across the room, and you'll be digging around for 15 minutes looking for that piece of metal. All right, next up, I get the hammer, and I put it right back where it lives. Now, there's a screw hole right there. Line this hole up with that hole so that when you put the screws back in, everything lines up. So, yeah, there you go. Now, grab your trigger. Stick it right there. This is important. So, this part right here of the trigger, okay, that part right there that juts out needs to be above that because there's a little bar. Let me just show you. Before I get that bar, I almost forgot. You gotta get your spring. You get your spring, you put it there. Should rest right there. That spring is to keep resistance on the trigger so it doesn't just go. Now, you get this thing right here. Remember a second ago how I said that's got to jut out? Well, that right here goes in this hole. And it goes right there. Yeah. And that is what keeps everything together. The trigger would just kind of bounce around if that wasn't right there to hold it in place. Okay, so we've got all this assembled. Now we get the cover, and we put it in the right spots, in the grooves, and you just give it a gentle little squeeze, and it should go right into place. Okay, so that should snap right into place. When it snaps right into place, just make sure everything's all on there snug. And this part right here is very not nice. You have to line that screw hole up correctly and get your screw. Sticker on in. Wow. Okay. So some of these screws, it's kind of it's a no-brainer where they go, but some of them takes a little bit of trial and error to figure it out. Now, I might have messed those up. Let me check real quick. Okay, so I'm taking it out right now to make sure, because these screws, this one looks like it goes in too deep, and that other one looks like it doesn't go in enough. These are pretty similar in length. In fact, this one's like just barely a little bit longer. So, get this one, put it right there. That one, put it right there. Now let's test it out here. Just fix that. So we're good. Now, get this screw right here. Put it on in here so it'll hold the frame of the revolver together. Then you screw that on in. Whoa. Okay, this next part's important. The spring. No spring equals no pew. So, get your spring. Get your spring. This is the next part. It's kind of important. You get your spring. You put it up here. There's a little groove. Kinda. Yeah, there's a groove. It should fit right into that groove. So you stick this in the hole. That part up there in the groove. And bend this spring down. Boom, right into place. And then guess what? She shoots. All right, I'm going to put these grips back on, and then, yeah. Okay, got that grip on there. You might got to play around with it to make sure that everything's doing all right. Make sure it'll half cock, because that means everything's correct. Denix revolvers, they're pretty good. Only thing about them that I would say is just be careful, because the pieces are easy to lose. And the gun, it's put together pretty good for a replica gun, but, I mean, it's kind of loose. So yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Next time, I'll take apart a P08 Luger German pistol. So, yeah, look out for that video. I'll see y'all later.